Hi everyone, this is Bo TNT. We hope everyone is doing good and you guys are having a great time during this holiday season. From all of us at TNT, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. A lot of us are getting ready to have a new and a better start for 2021 after what has been a horrible, if not a disastrous year with very little work or no work, and plus some of the other unfortunate events, the armor shortages and all that stuff. But all we can really do is try our best and do what we can to move forward. So we just have to keep trying harder every day and hope that at least this ammo nightmare comes to an end soon. Paying 60 cents a round is beyond stupid at this point, but let's see how it works out. So before we get started with today's video, here's a quick reminder to like, share, and comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's talk about CCW, what it is, why should you get it, and how to get it, and an issue we had over the last 6 months. That being said, here are a couple of disclaimers. First, you might or might not know, but we are in Las Vegas, Nevada. And some of the content in this video will pertain to state of Nevada, obviously. So, but some other ones will apply to other states as well. So please make sure to check with your local authorities. Also, we're not law enforcement or attorneys, and this is not a legal advice. So please do not take this as a legal advice. Consult your appropriate departments or agencies for specific laws and regulations for where you live, your city, and your state. So this is a more like a heads-up video for you guys. There has been a significant increase in the demand for CCWs since the beginning of March due to several reasons, which we will not talk about it in this video, but obviously COVID-19 played a big role, as well as the instability in social policies and some of the other events that had happened mostly in the first half of the year. But like I said, we're not going to discuss all that, and we're going to talk about some of the things that that pertains to and regards to CCW. So CCW stands for Conceal Carry Weapons here in the state of Nevada, and so each state have its own name for what is commonly referred to as a concealed carry permit. Okay, like the CFP, which is a concealed firearms permit in Utah, or CCP, concealed carry pistol or concealed carry permit in some other states, CHP, concealed handgun permit, or even LTCF, which stands for license to carry firearms. So every state has their own abbreviations and how they refer to it. So it will change from one state to another at any given time. So don't get it confused. It's not always a CCW. But a CCW permit, what does it do? It allows you to carry a firearm concealed legally. Even though some states are open carry, you probably would not want to go everywhere with an open carry, especially not at this time. I personally prefer concealed carry for multiple reasons, and these are why I think you should get a CCW permit. One of the first ones is that you should always have the element of surprise. So if you're out and about and confronted by a bad guy or multiple bad guys, the last thing you would want is to be seen with an open carry firearm. A lot of people argue that open carry can be deterrent if the bad guy sees you, that you have a gun, but in reality, not a lot of bad guys check to see if anyone is carrying a gun or not. Plus, you don't want to miss out on the element of surprise as well. And on the contrary, when you think the opposite, open carry might as well make you the clear and obvious first choice of a target. If you are identified by a bad guy or the bad guys while you're open carrying. So basically it just makes you an easier and most obvious first target wherever you're at. Another reason why I would conceal carry is that sometimes it does get uncomfortable when a lot of people notice that you're open carrying, and you probably will get a lot of mixed reactions from the general public. Personally, I did get a lot of weird looks before, and I know that it won't be the first or the last time. but I also get a lot of thank yous or thumbs ups from other people. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But again, I prefer not to draw attention to myself when I'm out in the public, minding my own business. And I also don't need to explain myself to anyone as to why I choose to carry, whether it's concealed or not. So, and also, especially if you are living in a state where liberal views are a little bit more prevailing and tolerance for carrying gun is considerably lower than, let's say, states like Texas or Utah or Nevada. So it does get a little bit uncomfortable at times, but it's a personal choice again. And another reason why I like the concealed carry is somewhat of a personal reason, and that is how and where I conceal carry. So I'm not a really big guy at 5'10" and 175 pounds. I really can't conceal anywhere else but appendix. I do find appendix carry to be faster, more comfortable, efficient, and more effective in draw if I have to resort to that. But that being said, if I was to open carry right in front on the appendix, I think I would be able to get away with belts that have bigger or on the larger scale of belt buckles. So, but then, some people say, how about chow time? So if I need to eat, guess what? I do have a habit of wearing pretty stiff belts, and all I have to do is pretty much loosen it up a little bit, or maybe even move my appendix carry to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I don't know, for an hour or so. And then once I feel comfortable again, back to appendix. And I also find appendix carry more comfortable when I'm driving. So it is really up to you to find your comfort zone and carry the way that fits you. So you just gotta try it out and see what works best for you. One of the other reasons why I conceal carry is the question of who needs to know you're carrying. So we discuss this in our CCW classes all the time, and the answer is very, very simple: no one. Carrying a gun is no one else's business but yours. So if you're married or living with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, you guys are going out for a night in town, and probably you will know that either one of you are carrying. So one of you is going to be the designated driver, conceal carry, and the other one maybe want to have a little drink and be responsible to not drink and drive and carry at the same time. But all in all, no one needs to know you're carrying. The whole purpose is to conceal carry is that no one knows that you're carrying, and you can defend yourself when you need to as a responsible citizen. So I think these are my personal reasons behind why I would get a CCW permit and carry concealed versus open carry. So now I would like to talk about CCW, how to get it, and how to apply for one. As I've said earlier, we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm going to share some of the information that pertains to the Clark County. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, some of the requirements are that you have to be a Nevada resident, and you must be a resident of Clark County, okay? If you are an out-of-state resident, you have to receive your firearms training here in the Clark County. And you have to be 21 years or older, 18 years or older with active or honorable discharge from the military. And also you have to be able to lawfully possess a firearm. If you're not, then don't worry about it. It's not going to work. You won't be able to get one. So after all this, you must successfully complete an approved firearms course taught by a certified Nevada CCW instructor inside the state of Nevada. Yes, there are fees and some other documentations and some other good stuff that which you can probably Google it and read it from your local law enforcement agency website. I know Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has a long one, so I'm not going into details of other procedures, which will bring me to my main concern that we've been having since just about June. Now, the required class is 8 hours, and it is mandatory, and you have to take the written exam and also qualify on the range for what's required of you. which is all fine, but the problem is the qualification, and it goes well into the principles, standards, training, and the capabilities of the persons applying or attending the class. Every CCW instructor is obligated to teach in person and qualify that person at a range with the required qualification process. So the materials that are covered in these CCW courses are pretty much basic as far as pistol fundamentals, and every instructor has an approved curriculum, or at least should have an approved curriculum that explains laws, regulations, NRSs, which is all great, but a lot of people are getting mixed up when they think of CCW. A lot of people who have been showing up in CCW classes are now first-time gun owners, or they haven't shot for years and now coming up and trying to get their CCW. I was having a conversation with one of the colleagues in the industry a few months ago and mentioned that this reminds me of someone going to the Department of Motor Vehicle and trying to get a driver's license when they don't have a car, or haven't learned how to drive a car, or haven't driven a car for, let's just say, about 20 years, and now all of a sudden it is like, let's go to DMV and get a driver's license. It just won't work that way. So we have a lot of people thinking that they can just walk into a classroom for a CCW permit, do the class, pass the written test, which is not that hard, and pass the qualification somehow. This is exactly like going to a DMV and telling them that you want a driver's license, but you have no idea how to drive a car. Same example. A CCW is just like a driver's license. It is a license to carry your pistol concealed, which you should already know how to operate and train with. You want a driver's license, then you should learn how to drive a car first before you go to the Department of Motor Vehicle. And like so, if you want to carry a concealed firearm, you also should learn how to operate that gun just like you learn how to drive a car. I think there is still a big gap or lack of training when it comes to concealed carry permits. I think instead of spending more time on explaining some of the stuff in the classroom, I think what we should do is first make it mandatory to take a preliminary, let's say 8 to 10 hours fundamental pistol course, including some of the basic drills, let's say about 400 to 500 rounds behind a trigger. But then again, that is my personal opinion. This way, we can ensure to a degree that when anyone decides to apply for CCW, at least we can be more helpful in educating them. Having said that, my advice to everyone would be to go and take some classes, some lessons from credible instructors who not only can teach you fundamentals, but also explain the reasons, whys and hows as well, and not just tell you do this and do that and you should be fine. So plus, not to mention that, you know, cheapest classes or instructors are not the best instructors. So be very careful, do your research, because just like everything else, you basically get what you pay for. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. I think it's a little bit longer than I expected, but nonetheless, like, share, and comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next video, be safe and stay safe.